From the Westwood One Radio Network, this is Line One. Hi, I'm David Perry, and tonight, Benjamin Orr is with your host, Scott Muni, live from Boston. You'll know Benjamin as a member of the great rock band, The Cars, and now he's stepped out of the shadows and into the solo spotlight. Though he shared the vocal responsibilities with his bandmate, Rick Ocasek, over the years, it was the song Drive that really highlighted his singing abilities. Tonight, we'll hear from Benjamin Orr, the singer, songwriter, and producer. If you'd like to talk to Ben yourself, go ahead and give him a call on our special toll-free number, 1-800-ROCKERS. We're waiting to hear from you. Line One is brought to you by Schick, because with Schick disposable razors, there's never a dull moment. When we come back, Benjamin Orr joins us, so don't go away.
Okay, here I go.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Scott Muni, and we're here live in Boston with our good friend, Benjamin Orr. Hi, Ben, and welcome on a cold night.
Good to see you again, Scott.
Actually, it's not as cold as it is in North Dakota, but it is cold here in Boston, so we'll be warming things up this evening as we talk to a lot of your friends and a lot of ours out there, too. I have the pleasure of checking out a few of the great tracks on Ben's debut solo album, The Lace. Now, for years, Ben and Rick Ocasek have been friends and musical buddies, and now Ben's out there on his own as a solo songwriter and singer in his own right, doing the same thing that Rick did, but now you're doing it on your own. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We're going to check out your first efforts in this new album. Going to have a lot of fun with it, and also going to do some Cars classics that some of the listeners probably didn't realize that you were singing on, Ben. And don't forget that you can call in and ask Ben some of your own questions just by dialing our toll-free number, 1-800-ROCKERS. We'll be taking a few of your phone calls in just a minute, but first let's go to a song that brought a great deal of attention to Ben's vocal style, and no doubt encouraged him to try some solo work, and we all wanted that too. From the Cars' 1984 album, Heartbeat City, that was the name of that one. This is Drive. Let's do it. Line One. With us on Line One, Ben Orr, and listening to us on station WZWZ in Kokomo, Indiana, is Andy. We'd like to talk to Andy. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi,
Good. Good.
And Ben is here. Would you like to ask a question?
Yes, I want to know, do you plan to stay with the Cars? And if so, do you plan to release any more solo albums?
Yeah, I have every intention of staying with the Cars, and we're going to do more single albums, I guess, as soon as we can get around to it. The Cars are supposed to start a new album in February, and we'll be on a world tour next year. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Andy in Kokomo. And also with us, a question tonight from Detroit, Michigan. Danny, listening to WLLZ Wheels.
Hi.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, okay, I got a question for you, Ben. I was just wondering, did you always know that you wanted to be in the music business? And if you didn't, when did you seriously start to think about it?
I started taking lessons actually when I was about 8 years old, and my parents told me I ruined a whole lot of their stuff at home, just, pounding around on tables. So I always knew that I wanted to do some sort of music. They gave me the opportunity to pursue it to its maximum, I guess. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Danny. And listening to us on station WLVQ in Columbus, Ohio, is Robert. Robert, you got a question for our friend Ben Orr?
I was wondering, how much exactly did you do in the making of your new video, and did you enjoy it?
Yeah, this time I really enjoyed it. I not only got to act in it and watch what was going on, but I also was a part of the production, along with editing and color schemes, the whole routine that you do with a video, I guess.
That sounds like fun. Keep it up.
It was great. It was great fun this time around, I have to say.
Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Columbus, Ohio. And another call now from Philadelphia, from WMMR listening area. John?
Yeah?
Hi there.
Hi, how you doing?
Got a question for Benjamin Orr?
Yes, I Ben reminds me of this actor, Rutger Hauer, a very fine actor.
Yeah.
And I believe that Ben has some acting capabilities, as he shows in his videos. And I was wondering, as he just mentioned to the last caller, that he likes acting in his videos, if he would pursue an acting career on full-length films if he was offered a good script.
Yeah, I probably would. Just for the fun of it, sure, I would.
Okay.
Are you recommending that? Are you urging that along?
Well, I'm urging. I was wondering if he would, if someone, a good agent or someone out there saw Ben's videos or just, mainly looked at him in the other car videos or what have you and figured, hey, I'd like to see this guy act in films like, per se, David Bowie does in his, he does his singing career, but he also has an acting career. He's a very fine actor. Mm-hmm. And I was just wondering if Ben would pursue an acting career.
Well, I understand that they, some people from Miami Vice actually asked me to do a portion of one of their shows, but we were doing Live 8 at the time, so that pretty much fell through, and I haven't heard anything since.
Okay, but if it was in the back shelf, they came up again, Miami Vice asked you to do it again, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure I would.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, John in Philadelphia. That was very nice. And by the way, we're going to take more calls soon. And for those people we just spoke to, we've got an autographed copy of The Lace. So keep on trying at 1-800-ROCKERS. We'll be right back. Hi there, welcome back to Line 1. I'm Scott Muni here in Boston. We are live with Benjamin Orr, and I want to thank you for joining us wherever you are tonight around America on behalf of Benjamin Orr. And Ben, yes. You like the phone calls?
Yeah, I think this is great fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do some more phone calls, but I know you probably won't care for this part of the show, but we're going to get into your new album called The Lace.
Oh, I'd hate it.
and let's do one right now from The Lace. Here's Benjamin Orr with Too Hot to Stop. You get in that position, it's too hot to stop, and the record goes, and there it goes. So get the album, and you can find out what happens after that. Ben Orr is our guest. We're live in Boston, and right now we're going to go to Los Angeles to radio station KMET, K-M-E-T, and Brad, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, Brad.
How are you doing, Ben?
Just fine, thank you.
Good to talk to you. Hey, I noticed a lot of people are doing interviews with you nowadays, and beforehand, at least with the cars, Rick Ocasek did a lot of that. How do you like doing the interviews and being up front about the cars and yourself and your band?
It's nice to be able to do this portion of it. I didn't mind the other portion, actually. It was okay. It was a lot easier, actually, than it is now.
Really? Okay, well, it's good to talk to you, and more power to you. I really love the group, and you're doing great. Thanks a lot for talking.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
That's Brad in Los Angeles, and now we go to Paul in New York, who's listening on WNEW-FM. Paul?
Ben, hi, I love your music. In a recent interview, you said that Stay the Night wasn't your favorite song on the album. I was wondering if you could tell us which is your favorite song and why.
Well, the reason why it's not, I can't say it's not my favorite song. It's just a song, the first song we ever wrote together, Diane and myself. And, it's like the one I've been most familiar with. I've been living with it for about 3 years. And I like up-tempo songs, so, probably my first choice would be like In Circles or Hot to Stop or something like that.
Well, we might just do that later.
Okay.
All right, well, the entire album is great.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, Paul. Let's go now to station KKCK, Marshall, Minnesota. And on the line in Minnesota is Tom.
Hi, Ben. My question is, now that you and Rick Ocasek have both, ventured out into the solo stuff, how is this going to affect your relationship with Rick?
Oh, we're still great friends. There's no problem here as far as I know.
Is this going to affect your role as maybe you're going to get more singing songs on the future Cars albums, or?
Well, on all the Cars albums, it pretty much broke down to me doing about half or maybe a song less on any of the Cars songs that we've done.
Okay. Well,
so
great, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Actually, that's an interesting question, too, because you guys are just, you're friends and buddies as well as musical buddies. And Rick has done his solo things, and now you finally got around to it, and it's about time.
Thank you.
That Benjamin Orr has his solo stuff. And yes, the Cars will be doing things together again in the future, and that's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're proving yourself, obviously, as a solo act, and I guess a lot of reason is that there you are. You were playing together in the group and going along and saying, you know what, it's time for me to get off and do a little project on my own. But not that long ago, back in '79, you were right up front on this Cars hit from Candy-O, Let's Go, on line 1. Okay, we've got to take a brief break now, time out. When we get back, David Perry will be telling us who's touring and where. We'll have more of your calls, and I'll tell you another way to get your hands on one of those autographed copies of The Lace by Benjamin Orr. There's all that and more to look forward to, so stick around on line 1.
Welcome back to Line 1. I'm David Perry, and we'll be getting back to tonight's guest, Benjamin Orr, and some more great music in just a minute. But first, here's what's happening on the concert circuit. John Fogerty's time this fall. Getting back to Ben Orr now, I've got a quick question I'd like to ask you. You know, I heard that Stay the Night was the first song you ever wrote, but you must have been involved with some aspect of songwriting with the Cars. So what things did you apply to your own songwriting method that you learned from just being around Rick Ocasek and the rest of the band?
Well, first of all, I never really got around to doing any songwriting in the Cars. My part was pretty much bass and doing a little bit of chorus background, This whole songwriting thing started with The Lace, and that's where it's at.
All right, Benjamin Orr, our guest. We're live in Boston on line 1. Good answer. More to come, right? More live stuff? I mean, you're going to write your own songs some more. Are you doing that now?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was doing that about an hour before I got back from the studio.
Great. So we have more songs by Ben Orr to look forward to. And we've got some phone calls to look forward to right now, too. And we'll be listening now to Alexandria, Louisiana. KQID. Chuck is on the line for Ben.
Hello, Ben. So how's the weather in Boston?
Oh, lovely.
Okay, I've been waiting quite a long time for your solo album since Rick Ocasek, Ellie Deason, and Greg Hawk all have solo album. I was wondering why it took you so long to put one out on the market.
I was tied up with other personal things, around the house. I just took my time. I wanted to do it right. It's a pretty scary thing to do it for the first time, and you want to make sure everything falls into place. So it took a little extra time this time.
I can see that. I got one more question for you. What is your favorite Cars album?
I probably would go with Heartbeat City since it's the newest and I'm the least tired of it.
I know what you mean. Thanks a lot for your time, man. It's really nice to talk to you.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, Chuck in Alexandria, Louisiana. Listening right now in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on WMMR is Rick. Are you there, Rick?
Yeah, I'm there.
You
Hi,
have a
Ben.
question for Ben?
Yeah, hi, Ben.
Hi.
Yes. I'd like to know, what is your favorite personal Cars song or songs?
Well, I'm pretty partial to Drive, actually. But, my favorite, probably When You're Gone.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to do something from the Benjamin Orr album, the solo, Lace, and get another track so that we can talk about your new album. Not just Cars stuff, although we should do some Cars things too. This is written with the help of your friend here, Diane Gray Page.
Yes.
This particular song, and it is the single at the moment too. And from The Lace then, Stay the Night. Stay the Night. That is in the Lace album that is new from Benjamin Orr, and on the telephone in Iron Mountain, Michigan. Listening to us tonight on WJNR is Terry. A question for you, Mr. Orr. Terry?
Yeah, Ben.
Hi.
I heard you wrote most of your songs around Boston, and could you tell me why it was a good place to write and why you chose to live there?
Well, most of the music we did in a small studio that I have set up in my home. But for the lyrics, I made up cassettes, took my, truck and or car down to the ocean on one of the piers down here in Boston Harbor, and we wrote the lyrics from inside those.
Was there... You wanted to sort of know what he was doing in Boston instead of where? Instead of Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben?
Well, I live here. That's a good start. I moved to Boston here about 13 years ago, and I just lived here ever since.
Oh. Okay, well, that just about answers my questions.
Thanks, Terry.
Yep.
By the way, if you want to call us, the number is 1-800-ROCKERS, 1-800-ROCKERS. And from Portsmouth, New Hampshire now, listening on WHEB is Renee Norton. Renee?
Hi, Ben. I'd like to ask this. You sang lead on Cars hits before. So why do you think the song Dry brought you so much attention as a vocalist?
Well, it was a great song. Rick wrote a fabulous song, though.
I agree.
And I got lucky and was able to sing it. And probably Live Aid helped a whole lot on from the British side and from the American side.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. And let's go to Columbus, Ohio on the telephone now. Laura, who's listening to WLVQ in Columbus.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
How did you feel when Elektra Records approached you about doing a solo record?
I got pretty nervous there for a while. Because I had never done anything like this before, so I wanted to do a good job. And when they asked me to do it, I said sure I'd do it, but then shortly thereafterward I got a little nervous.
Okay, thank you.
Just a normal thing,
Thanks, Laura, in Ohio. And we're going to take another caller now. Listening on WCCC in Hartford, Connecticut, Kristen. Kristen, got a question for Ben?
What?
Do you have a question for Ben?
Yep.
Okay, go to it.
Hi, I really like the Cars and was wondering what do the members of the Cars think of your solo album?
We pretty much support each other, whatever project that we do. I imagine that they're pretty happy. I hope they would be. I was counting on them. Okay.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Kristen in Hartford. And by the way, all the callers we have on the air tonight will be getting an autographed copy of The Lace. And for those of you who can't get through to us, though, and have tried, we'd like to give you a chance for a special memento, and that's the album autographed. Send us a postcard with your name and address on the back, and we'll select 15 names at random to receive one of those LPs signed by Ben. It's easy. All you have to do is write your postcard to Benjamin Orr, care of Line 1 LP Giveaway, Post Office Box 1986, Culver City, California, 90232. Make sure you get your postcard to us by a week from next Friday. That's November 21st. And then we'll select 15 at random. Look forward to receiving your cards. We're going to get back to some music right now in Line 1. 1978 was the year the Cars knew something we needed, some good music and some great songs. That was the debut album, resulted in a handful of great hits that you remember, like Good Times Roll, My Best Friend's Girl, Bye Bye Love, and then there was Just What I Needed. Little cold in Boston. Boston tonight. We're live right here with our friend Benjamin Orr. Solo album, a great album, and we're going to have another song from there shortly. Right now, some phone calls, and on line 1 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Randy, who's listening to WHTF. Randy, question for Ben Orr.
Yes, Ben, I just listened to the album just yesterday. It's fantastic. Loved it.
Thank you very much.
You're
It's
welcome.
nice to hear. I really like that.
Okay, what was the first car song you heard on the radio?
First car song?
Yeah.
Was Just What I Needed. The local station here in Boston, WBCN, was the first to play it, and they played rough cuts before the even album was mixed or released or anything like that.
How did you feel about hearing it?
I'm sorry?
How did you feel about hearing it?
Oh, it was a good feeling. First time out, yeah.
Really? Hey, great. Keep rocking.
Okay. Thanks very much, Randy. We're going to go to Clearfield, Pennsylvania, listening on WQYX. I think that's Shirley. Cheryl?
Cheryl?
Cheryl. Okay, good, Cheryl. You got a question, please?
Yes. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
I was wondering, do you think it's possible that you can reach the high goals as the cars?
Guess he already did, really. He is a car.
Yeah, well...
A streamlined, blonde car. No, he's a car right now, too, you know. He's achieved that. Now he's going to just do some solo stuff, right?
Yeah, we'll try that. I don't know exactly what you meant.
Well, I meant, do you think you can become as successful as the cars? Like, you know?
Oh, myself personally on my own career, this solo thing?
Right.
Well, we'll give it a good try, won't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl, very much. And in Boston, in our area where we are right now, WAAF, and listening on AAF is Nick. Hello,
Hi.
Nick.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
Okay, real good.
I have a question for you. I have a controversy with my friends. In the song, When You're Gone, what are you writing about?
That's Rick's job. I don't know what comes from Rick's mind for when he writes his lyrics. That's pretty much left up to Rick. You'd have to ask him about that one.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought it was yours.
No, I don't write any of the songs in the cars.
The songs that are on this album, he has written. Actually, this is your first songwriting. You've sung on a lot of the songs.
That's right.
I think is what he means. And Diane Gray Page is with us also as a co-writer on many of the songs with Benjamin Orr. So, just in case you wanted to know that. All right. Anything else, Nick?
On the album, he has a song on his album titled When You're Gone.
On my album?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We're talking about my album.
Your album, yes.
Okay, I made a mistake earlier because I said one of my favorite car songs was When You're Gone, and it's not When You're Gone. It's Since You're Gone. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Now, what was your question?
What is the meaning in that song? What are you writing about?
It's pretty much the feeling that when your friend isn't there anymore, you sort of miss him a lot, whoever it may be, male or female. Has that meaning to it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You bet.
All right, thank you, Nick. Okay, we'll be right back on line 1 after this. Scott Muni back here live in Boston on line 1 with Benjamin Orr and his latest album, The Lace. A song now that, well, shows you can rock along with the best of them. And that's for sure, Ben. Mike Landau and the Cars, bandmate Elliot Easton, are doing guitar work on this particular song from Ben Orr. And on line 1, we're in Circles. I put my vote in for that, In Circles. Yeah. It's in Lace, in the album, of course, Benjamin Orr. Doing it as In Circles says. That's good. Good rocker. Let's do another telephone call here. Portsmouth, New Hampshire area. It's probably colder there in Boston for sure. WHEB, the station. And Michelle is on the line for you, Ben Orr.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
What was your most memorable experience with the Cars?
Oh, probably Live Aid, I would say. We had a really nice time there, and it was great playing for the world.
Michelle, did you say, what was the name of the group again?
The Cars?
That's
All right, I've got a Portsmouth accent.
That's kind of a Boston accent, too, and we were just having some fun about that. Do they do that in Portsmouth also, park the car?
All the time. I'm really from Rochester, but we called it.
Okay.
You're not going to come back with the accent?
No. You do a real good job of that, Michelle.
Gee, thanks.
Is it cold there? What's the temperature in Portsmouth?
Oh, I'd say about 30 or so.
Well, it's not that much colder than it is here.
Really, I'm going to do the weather for Portsmouth in about 2 minutes.
All right.
So hang in there, and you'll hear a great weather report.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Michelle. We appreciate your call. And actually, everyone, and as we mentioned earlier, they get autographed albums. And we got to get out of here very shortly. And I just want to thank everybody who called in. And those of you who tried to call in and couldn't make it, try again next time on Line 1. And Ben Orr, I thank you very much. Wish you a lot of luck on that new album.
And that's it for tonight, but make sure you tune in next week. We'll have another hour with more of your favorite rockers. Line 1 is your chance to talk to the people who make the music happen. Don't miss it. Line 1 was brought to you by Schick, because with Schick disposable razors, there's never a dull moment. Line 1 is produced by Mary Pat Carney, with production out of Boston by Sam Copper. Associate producer, Patricia Carroll. Engineering and special production by Ron Harris. Special thanks to all our friends at station WGBH in Boston for all their help and the use of their studios. Line 1 is an exclusive presentation of the Westwood One Radio Network. Executive producer, Norm Pattis. For Scott Muni and Benjamin Orr, thanks for listening. See you again next week, right here on Line 1.